What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I got to have a conversation with you guys about Tiege Hanley because you see how the sun is hitting me? This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Tiege Hanley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people, and I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now, and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of Millionaire Morning Show. I'm your host, Anton Daniels. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? I decided not to work in the studio today simply because I got a flight to catch. Now, with that being said, and with me having a flight to catch, what I'm going to do is the same thing that I did yesterday. So, ADD1, if you are here, make sure you put your Cash App inside of the chat because we did not catch it yesterday. And then we want to make sure we get you your $100, ADD1. As promised, I said that I am going to be in Massachusetts tonight. I'm flying into Massachusetts tonight, but I had y'all pick the state. This time I want y'all to pick the city. All right. So, first person to say which city I'm going to in Massachusetts that I see, get $100 in a Cash App. You got it, Midwest. You got it, Midwest. You got it. Shout out to Midwest. You are the first person to say it. Y'all was quick with it today. Yeah. You was quick with it today. Shout out to you. I am going to Springfield. You are the first person that I see. Oh, no, 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 no. Nope, you wasn't the first person. Kiwan said it first. Kiwan said it first. I'm going through and I'm double checking it. Nope, you wasn't the first person. I'm sorry. Kiwan said it first. So you are the first person, Kiwan. Kiwan is the first person to say it. I'm using StreamYard today, so it's much different than my normal software. Kiwan said it first. So Kiwan, put your Cash App in there. Put your Cash App in there, Kiwan. And y'all was quick with it. Y'all was quick with it. Kiwan, put your Cash App in there. Your car gonna send me the Cash App for Kiwan and Uno DD1. And then I'm gonna hit y'all off after the show with $100 a piece. All right, but never be dismayed, okay? So this is what I'm also going to do. Next week, I will be in a different city. All right? Next week, I will be in a different state in a different city, which means that I'm going to do the same thing again. All right? But what I won't tell you is which day I'm going to tell. I'm not going to tell you which day I'm flying out. It could be Monday, it could be Tuesday, it could be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It could be any of those days. All right? Which means that I don't know if I'm going to do the competition tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to do it Friday. I don't know if I'm going to do it Monday, Tuesday. I don't know what's going to happen. So whatever I do, I'm going to do it in the beginning of the show. All right? If you are not here as soon as I start the show, then do not tap in. Don't sit there and say nothing. It is according to your participation. All right. So I'm gonna hit you off, Kiwan and ADD1. I'm gonna hit you off. Both of y'all want $100 a piece just because y'all here early. Early bird gets the worm. We're gonna run it up. All right. So that's the first thing. Next week, I'm gonna be in a different city. The week after that, I am going to be out of the country. All right. So next week, I'm going to be in this different city. Week after that, I'm going to be out of the country. Week after that, I'm going to be in a different city. All right. So the tour starts kind of sort of now. I'm going across America. I'm going into different places that I've never been into before. I'm going to a lot of different places. All right. So I'm looking to explore all around Springfield, Massachusetts, everywhere that's surrounded. I heard that Hartford, Connecticut is pretty close. I don't know. We gonna see. All right. So next week I'm gonna be going to certain places. So I might do a different competition. I might ask y'all which country, then I might ask y'all which state, and then I might, you don't know. You just have no clue whatsoever. I might ask you what's the different population. Like, I don't know. I have no clue whatsoever. But what I will tell you is that if you are not here early, you have no chance of winning whatsoever. So I'm gonna hit both of y'all off with $100 a piece just because y'all was here early. Shout out to y'all. We got a Patreon live stream this afternoon. So 5 p.m. Eastern, we're gonna do a Patreon live stream before I take my flight. I'm gonna take an hour and a half, and we're gonna talk about the synergy, right? We're gonna bring together Block Club and Stock Club because there was some people that asked me some questions about the importance of how much I allocate towards which project and which, how much I put inside of my brokerage account or what percentage and all of that stuff. So I want to interact with the chat. I want to have a Block Club, but I also know that there's questions with regard to Stock Club. So I'm definitely doing a live stream today. If you're not a part of the Patreon, link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. We having that today at 5 p.m. Eastern. If you do not catch it in a live, I will upload it for you guys to rewatch. So do not be dismayed. Always got to make sure that we take care of business. Jeremy Rogers says, Anton, I'm wondering how often your family asks you for money. Which part? Which family? I'm talking about my immediate family, like wife, daughter. Which family? I got a full show lined up for y'all today. I said Hartford is about 20, 25 minutes away from Springfield. All right. Okay. I will be at Biloxi cruising the coast this fall, so that's a hint for that. Jeremy Rogers, what do you mean by Anton? How often does my family ask me for money? Give me some clarification. Which relatives? Like how close? Are you talking about like brother, mother, sister? I'm not sister. My brother's wives are my sisters, but cousins. What are you talking about? So you're not talking about daughter, wife, none of that. Close family. All right, cool. So how often does my family ask me for money? Pretty much never. Nobody asked me for money. Cousins, nobody asked me for money. Nobody. And I'll tell you why. Part of the reason is because the overwhelming majority of my family is doing really well. They don't feel as though they need to ask me for money. That's not how our relationship is. Our relationships is more like if somebody sees somebody going through something and we just show up for them. You know what I'm saying? So, like for example, a couple months ago, I had somebody that was going through a housing problem that was in my family, and so once I found out about it, they was just going to go through it on their own. Like it was a man in our family, and he was going to go through it on his own because we just willing to figure it out for ourselves. But when I found out about it, we just all came in together and was like, yo, let's just figure this junk out ourselves. So then I started making sure that they got a hotel room. I got them the whole presidential suite down at MGM. And then I set aside some money to make sure that I took care of them for the next 6 months as far as getting the new place, the new rent paid up and getting them on their feet. But they was already in a situation where they was transitioning into a new job eventually, but they was going to school, but they don't graduate for another like 4 months. And then, other family members pitched in and said, well, wait a minute, let me find a place for them and I can work with it. And I got some realtors. And then another family member said, well, let me take care of this and let me take care of that. So nobody actually asks me for a specific amount because whenever we go through stuff, we just figure it out on our own. But if somebody just so happened to catch wind, or if we find out that somebody is going through something, we just automatically start to come in and pitch in and make sure that we take care of the person that's in the family. I know that they would do the same for me. Actually, you know what? The only person that taps in with me and says, yo, Anton, I need some money is my mom. So my mom will call me and be like, oh no, she don't call me. She'll just text me and she'll say, Anton, I'm about to go on this trip and I was looking about this, or Anton, I'm at the mall and I see this. Is because here's the thing about my mom, and I'll tell y'all this right now. So I have money set aside for my mother. So I have a portfolio that I manage on her behalf. And it is a pretty vast portfolio, but I never want to draw down on the principal because I just want to make sure that she got that lump sum of money set aside. So I got different accounts for different people that are close to me. I got an account for my daughter. I got an account for my mother, and I got accounts for different people. So she doesn't know how much money is in it. She never checks it. She don't want to know how much money is in it. And so she'll say, Anton, I need $2,000 for this. So I'm about to go on this trip and I need $3,000 for this because I want to do all of these excursions. And so she'll ask me, is it okay if I take this money out? So I'm kind of sort of her financial advisor. I manage her resources or whatever. But I never take money out of her account. I just send her the money. So whatever it is that she needs, I just send her the money and I just say, here, you know what I'm saying? Go and have fun. And, don't worry about nothing. So I don't actually take money out of her account. I just manage her portfolio for her. And then, you know what I'm saying? I just give it out of my own money. I just send her the money that she needs. So that's kind of how it works. But nobody asks me for money. My daughter don't ask me for money. She gets an allowance that she manages, but she still uses my cards. She got my cards on her Apple Pay, so she just pay for all of her own stuff with my money, and then she take her money and she stacks it. Ain't that crazy? My daughter she saves her money, right? So every month she get paid a certain amount that she's supposed to manage. She stacks her money and put it in the brokerage account, and then she uses my money for whatever it is that she needs to do all the time. And I asked her, I said, how does that work? How did that happen? Whatever. And everybody else do what they do. But no, everybody is taken care of. Everybody is doing well. Everybody is doing okay. But if we see somebody going through something, we just come together. Nobody actually hits me up and say, yo, let me get this amount of money. Let me get that amount of money. So, yep. That is how we kind of work. We just kind of figure it out. Nobody is jealous of nobody. Nobody is counting each other's pockets. Nobody is hating on nobody. Ain't nobody got no negative animosity. Don't nobody feel like I owe them anything or anything like that. It can be taxing on you sometimes because, when I do see things happening, I make sure I contribute. I make sure that I kind of over contribute and stuff. If a funeral happened or something like that, then I'll make sure I pay for it or something if I can help or something like that. But for the most part, no, man, we don't have that type of problem. We don't have, nobody is trying to finesse nobody. Ain't nobody trying to do nobody dirty. So it's a good life. It's a good life. I'm just checking in with the chat before we get started with the show. My daughter, she got a crazy portfolio, bro. It's insane. It's absolutely pretty crazy. Mika, I took Mika's mantra. Very simple. And I was telling people this the other day when I was saying, I just want to live a good life. I just like to have fun and live a really, really good life. All right. So anyways, again, make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Y'all ready to go ahead and get started with the show? Again, we are going to be doing a live stream this afternoon at about 5 p.m. Eastern. So adjust for whatever your time zone is. Make sure you guys tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Tiege Hanley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. I hope everybody is in an incredible mood. Life is good. I'm looking out at the water. The sun is shining. The boats are out there. I see that Detroit is preparing for the Grand Prix. They blocking stuff off, and I can see this the Chevrolet sign right there. Let me show y'all what I'm looking at. So I don't know if y'all can see it, but it's right there. Right there is where the Grand Prix is going to be at. So it's like a little Chevrolet, and they starting to block off the streets. And the Grand Prix usually runs every single year all through downtown Detroit. And that's how we do it. So I'm looking forward to attending the Grand Prix. Hopefully they can give me some tickets from some sponsors. Other than that, I will be paying for my tickets like everybody else. I don't mind paying for my tickets. And we're going to get it popping. Let me see what my daughter talking about real quick. Oh, my God. Hold on one second, y'all. What's up, Les? Don't put me on speaker, please. I am literally having. Hold on. What? All right. Okay. All right. Okay, I got you. Have y'all ever? How many of y'all got daughters? How many of y'all got daughters? Before I start the show, they don't care if I'm live streaming. They don't care what the hell is going on. They don't care nothing about that. I'm telling you right now, daughters are a blessing, but they are also. I got to put y'all on mute for a second. Okay, cool. Thank you. All right, bye-bye. All right. Let me go ahead and read some of the cash apps, and then we're gonna go ahead and get started with the with the show. Shout out to my daughter. Mike, that dude says, "What up, though?" Shout out to Mike, that dude. I appreciate you. Siobhan says, "Keep up the good work." Thank you, Siobhan. And my dog Quentin is in the building. Shout out to Quentin. Says asking you for money. Yeah, they do. But nobody asked me for money. Everybody is in a good space. So shout out to y'all. I also want to acknowledge some of the early super chatters. Says Moses King, what up, AD New Bag Chaser here. Shout out to you. Saw one of your old streams. Had no idea you used to run a morning show in a whole bathrobe. All right, you want to see something? Okay, give me a sec. I'll do this right. We're gonna do this right. Yeah. We're going to do a throwback stream today. All right? Throwback stream in the building. Make sure we don't got wax everywhere. That didn't go well. All right. Y'all ready to do a throwback? I'm glad you said that. Now I could do a throwback morning live show. I usually wear this. When I'm milling around the house. But today we're going to do the Millionaire Morning Show like we used to. Shout out to Moses King. Y'all ready? I think it's going to be a good show today. Longway ENT says, Lil Cuz never asked to use the 911. Nope. They got their own cars. Stat Sheet Stuffer says, good morning, Time Dog and the Bag Chasers. I emailed you a video from CNN discussing trans people in the military and was curious about your thought on it. Well, we could talk about that today. I left the last subject open, so I might tackle into that. Good morning, AD. Today is my birthday, 48 years of blessings as a gift. Put out the dates for your next 2 Patreon exclusives today. It's going to be today. And then the next one after that will be Wednesday. And the next one after that will be a Wednesday. Voltaic Art says, you saw that GTA 6 trailer. Goodbye to my social life when it drops. I did see it, but I'm not going to buy it because I don't want to be consumed with it. I think daughters can be more expensive than wives. At least mine is. I think that may be true. Absolutely. And then, you got to pay for them to go to college. Yeah, right now my daughter is way more expensive. I got you, baby girl. Absolutely. Thank you. The average gamer in the building says OG style. Yes. If you look at some of my older videos, I did used to do the Millionaire Morning Show on the road. I did. And then if I was feeling in my feminine energy, I would wear the pink robe. And then sometimes I would wear the white robe. And then sometimes I would wear the black robe. And then other times when I was feeling real angry, I would wear the red robe. So, yeah. All right, y'all ready to go ahead and get started with the show? Again, make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, Tiege Hanley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. One of the reasons that I stopped doing the live stream in my robe is because I seen a whole lot of people that was biting my style. I found some people that was biting my style and they ain't even gave me credit. Oh my God. I found some of that out yesterday. It was insane. So, all right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get started with the shika show. All right. I want to start on this front. The first thing that I want to talk about before I get into anything is people being falsely accused. Now, this is one of the reasons why I always say innocent until proven guilty a lot of times in a court of law. Some stuff is just cut and dry, and you could just go ahead and see it. Oh, okay, I see it. He had a gun. It was on a body cam. You can kind of make sense of it. Other times, I'm like, I like you too, Shanice. I like you too. Other times, I'm like, I don't know so much about that one. Let me figure that out. But I don't know if y'all remember, but it was a man that was being accused of kidnapping a child or trying to kidnap a child at Walmart. Let me share it with you guys, and then y'all tell me whether or not you remember it, because it was a really big deal. It went viral, and I would say that it probably ruined his reputation also. So This is the beginning of it. This is how it kind of played out, and this was what was going on.
Just within the past hour, a man accused of trying to kidnap a child at a local Walmart is free on bond tonight. Thanks so much for joining us. For Fox 5 News at 4, I'm Christine Spiro. Mahendra Patel walked out of the Cobb County jail about a half hour ago. He's accused of trying to snatch a 2-year-old boy from his mother's arms at an Ackworth Walmart in March. Fox 5's Deidre Dukes is live at the Cobb County Jail with these newest developments. Deidre.
And Christine, Patel still faces some very serious charges. Still, he was quite relieved when he walked out of jail with his attorney this afternoon. He spent more than 6 weeks behind bars for a crime he insists he did not commit.
I feel great. There's a freedom that's called now. Finally, I'm out.
Mahendra Patel spoke to reporters as he left jail Tuesday afternoon. The 57-year-old man was released just a few hours after a judge granted him bond in a case that has captured national attention.
No, I cannot even dream about somebody alleging me for doing this kind of thing. Forget about me dreaming to do this. So it was a shocker.
This is store surveillance video of Patel's interaction with accuser Caroline Miller in an Ackworth Walmart in March that led to his arrest and a 6-week stint in the Cobb County Jail on a charge of attempted kidnapping. Police arrested Patel after the mother of 2 told authorities he tried to grab her 2-year-old son from her arms. Patel insists he's innocent and was simply trying to help Miller, who he reportedly assumed was handicapped because she was riding with the children on a motorized scooter when the incident happened.
I don't know if anybody that watched that video can reasonably say that that was attempted kidnapping. I think maybe it was a misunderstanding at best.
More than 300 people turned out in support of Patel.
Woo! Hold on. Let me see what's going on.
I think maybe it was a misunderstanding at best.
More than 300.
Y'all thought that y'all was the only ones that had a community? Y'all thought that y'all was the only ones that had a community? You thought that you was the only ones that show up? See, they show up when they serious about something. They don't show up for the criminals. They not showing up because somebody was a YN was out there. What do you call an Indian? Indian person. A IN? What do you call an Indian person? An IN? They don't just mess around with INs. They are very, very strategic when they use they privilege and they power, because what will happen, let me tell you why nobody cares about black people. Y'all want to know why nobody takes black people serious? Because everything that goes on, it doesn't matter whether it's right or wrong. We jump out the window and we say, oh no, let's get it. They don't show up for the criminals. Like, they don't show up when they know that somebody is guilty. They don't show up when the INs, they don't show up when somebody is on some crazy stuff. They handle that themselves. They outcast them. They want them to go to jail. They're not rocking out with them. But when they see somebody is doing something that is really, truly innocent, is being falsely accused, oh, it's a YN, the yens. Okay, all right. Here we go. Look at Pedro Rabbit. There you go, dissing black people. I'm trying to help you to understand with your nappy hair, with your big head. Don't you know I'm trying to help you to understand with your nappy hair how you can be better served by being careful with where it is that you use your power? Don't you understand that I'm trying to help your monkey butt? I'm trying to tell you that you have to be careful with when you start to support or when you jump out the window, because then you'll start to be censored. People will become numb to your concerns. They know that you're going to jump out the window. They know that you're going to start to be stupid. They know that you're going to just jump out the window at every single thing, and then they're going to become numb to your concerns, and nobody is going to care. Don't you get it? When somebody is being falsely accused, then they leverage their power to get my man out of jail so that he's not rotting in jail for the rest of his life. But when you see a whole lot of people doing a whole lot of things that's not supposed to happen, guess what? You see a whole lot of people that are innocent starting to rot because they can't separate the who from the what. They can't separate and say, okay, well, wait a minute, this guy, because you got a whole lot of people doing a whole lot of stuff. Now you can't even separate and say, okay, well, wait a minute. This guy is actually innocent. It reminds me of when women say, believe all women. Well, why should I believe all women? Because then when you got people like Joy Taylors, or you got these people that are falsely accusing people, or they always leveraging the Tony Busme, you don't know when a woman is actually telling the truth. Why? Because we don't hold people accountable when they telling a lie. We automatically jump off the bridge. We automatically jump off the block because we not on top of things. If they know that they can easily trigger you and outrage you, then what do you think is going to happen? Why do you think that it's going to be any reform? Why do you think that nobody cares about putting any resources inside of the community? Because you don't even help yourself. You don't even hold your own people accountable. So then when they come out, I'm like, wait a minute, because you don't see Indians popping out like that. You don't see Asians popping out like that unless it's something that's meaningful. You don't see certain people popping out like that unless it's something that's meaningful. You don't see Arabic people popping out like that unless you see something that's meaningful.
Hundred people turned out in support of Patel, some traveling from India.
The alleged incident is happening now. Here's the other view of it, flipping back so you can see both views. That's the alleged incident right there.
Both the prosecution and defense played the surveillance video in court. Defense attorney Ashley Merchant said it proved Patel was not trying to take the child.
When you zoom in on it, you can actually see defendant grabbing this 2-year-old child.
But prosecutor Jesse Evans told the court Patel could be seen in the video trying to wrestle the boy from his mother. After weighing both sides, the judge ordered Patel be released on $10,000 bond.
You got to take it one day at a time. A lot of ups and downs in the days, but I knew we had a team outside helping me. So one day we'll see the light out, and then we see it today.
Let me play this other video really quickly, because I also want to get it from another lens, because he said that the video actually proves his innocence. And then I'll give you my thoughts on what I think happened and whether I think that he actually is innocent, or if he needs to be, if I see him as guilty prior to them actually, getting into the court case and stuff like that.
I was in the Walmart and I had to rip my baby out of some other man's hands because he was trying to snatch him.
This dramatic 911 call detailing what sounds like every parent's worst nightmare.
It all happened so fast and he was out of the store.
It allegedly happened here at this Walmart outside Atlanta. This security footage shows a woman identified in a police report as 26-year-old Caroline Miller on a mobility scooter with her 2 kids when a man approached. But what happens next is at the center of a kidnapping case that has drawn international attention. Miller told police that an Indian man approached her and grabbed her 2-year-old son and pulled him away. Miller did not return NBC's request for comment, but detailed the alleged struggle to local station Atlanta News First.
And I'm like, no, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I got him back, and then he just stared at me and then goes, oh, I just wanted to get him out of your lap so you could get up and help me, which was weird. That didn't make any sense. And then he just walked off.
That man was eventually identified as 56-year-old Mahendra Mik Patel, a real estate investor, retired engineer, husband, and father of 2.
Nah, I call cap 100%. 100% I call cap. I call embellishment. I think that he was probably actually trying to help her. And I call cap 100%. I call lies, cap. And if I was him, I would sue the pants off of that chick. After I beat the case, the dude is retired. He an engineer. He a father. He a husband. He ain't never had no problems. You can clearly see that he seems like he's trying to help. He not trying to hurry up and run. He didn't try to hurry up and get out of there. None of that type of stuff. He ain't got no mask. Man, get the hell out of here. That's all cap. I call cap 100%. I'm not going for it. I call cap. But let me also say this. This is one of the reasons. Why people don't help people and they choose to mind their own business. When y'all sit there and say, how come no man help me? I was looking at a Instagram video that somebody sent me, and they was saying that the woman was basically saying that she was trying to take her furniture or take some stuff that was heavy in her car and oh, she a single woman, and the men today ain't nothing no more, and that it was guys that was just walking by and I was like, you got it. Well, part of it is feminism because, you know, women advocated for equal, but then they still act like a man is supposed to operate like a traditional man. The other part of it is that men are cautious. They don't want to go into your apartment and then you accuse them of something. Half the time y'all call them weird when you recording yourself inside of a gym. Men are incredibly cautious. They're more cautious than ever before today, and they not trying to get caught up in your bullshit. And so in this instance, he probably seen a woman that she was on her little mobility scooter. He was trying to help her. Clearly, he wasn't trying to get away or run out and stuff like that. And so now he had to spend 45 days in jail with no bond before they finally released the footage, and then he was able to get in front of a judge to actually show that he's not a threat to society and that he's an upstanding citizen. Bullshit. 100% of the time. Get the heck out of here. This is why men, when women ask the question and they say, why don't men do the things that the men from yesterday used to do, is because we've seen too many guys before we even had all of these security cameras and footage. We've seen too many guys get accused of something that they didn't do. I'm not coming in your crib. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to help you with your groceries. And if you're in trouble, I'll call the police. That's what they're there for. Guys are smartening up. They getting what? It take us a minute. Because we still be trying to see the good in people. It take us a minute, but eventually we figure it out and we say, you know what? We're not helping nobody after this.
Police arrested him and charged him with kidnapping of a minor, assault, and battery. He's been in jail now for nearly 6 weeks. But now Miller's account is very much in dispute.
When I finally got the video, I was upset that Mr. Patel was still in jail.
Patel's attorney, Ashley Merchant, says the evidence in this case shows something very different.
Walk me through what that video showed when you finally were able to see it.
I see the video and I'm like, how has this happened? You know, how was he even arrested?
Merchant provided NBC News with over 9 hours of surveillance video from various cameras inside that Walmart. In the video, you can see Patel approach his cameras.
Look at the upper left right hand one. Look at the upper right-hand one of him talking to her.
NBC News with over 9 hours of surveillance video from various cameras inside that.
How is he trying to kidnap her? How is he trying to kidnap the kids when you clearly see he got something in his hand, she's interacting with him, he's interacting with her. What is he doing?
News with over 9 hours of surveillance video from various cameras inside that Walmart. In the video.
Nah, fam, I'm not going for it. If I was him, I would sue the hell out of her. That's why I'm suing the hell out of her. 100%. He not even doing nothing. He ain't doing nothing at all.
You can see Patel approach Miller. According to the police report, Miller says Patel asked her where the Tylenol was. Merchant says that as Miller stands up to point to where the Tylenol was, her 2-year-old son slips from her lap. Patel says he tried to help stabilize the toddler. Miller alleged something different in that 911 call.
I was in the Walmart and I had to rip my baby out of some other man's hands because he was trying to snatch him.
After that, the video shows Patel walking off, and he's later seen approaching Miller one more time to show her that he found the Tylenol. She appears to give him a thumbs up.
I'm surprised that she would describe it as someone trying to take her child because it's so obvious that it wasn't.
Now, almost 45,000 people have signed a change.org petition calling for justice for Patel.
And what was his original reaction when he got arrested? Because he probably did not see that coming at all.
He was shocked. He could not believe it. Angry.
Hasmukh Patel has been friends with Mahendra Patel for almost 40 years. He's been talking to him on the phone every day from jail.
He cannot believe it that he is in for the things that he did not commit.
The Ackworth Police Department did not respond to NBC's request for an interview, but we went to the Cobb County District Attorney's office and a spokesperson told us there's a lot more to the story, but because it's a pending investigation, we can't comment. For now, Merchant and Patel's friend says he's angry, but is willing to fight these charges until he can clear his name.
I mean, imagine being in jail, knowing you didn't do something, and then having a video that shows you didn't do anything, but hearing that your government is still going to keep you in jail.
And he going down for battery, assault, kidnapping, everything.
That's very disheartening.
And NBC's Priya Sridhar joins us now from outside the detention center where Patel is being held. Priya, I understand Patel will have his first court appearance.
Well, he got out now, so we don't need to continue to review that. But the point is this is why I don't trust nobody, bro. This is why I don't trust nobody. And the prosecutors are still prosecuting. Get the heck out of here. Now, again, in our community, it's a lot more difficult because if you then say, hey, man, I was arrested for something I didn't do or whatever, by default, we'd be like, nigga, he was trying to get that little box over there because we so used to people doing stuff that they're not supposed to do, or for us to defend stuff immediately without any evidence that shows otherwise. But the minute that we start holding ourselves accountable while at the same time supporting the causes of the people, I would love to, for example, if a woman says, yo, I was assaulted, I was great, and this negatively happened to me, I would love to immediately be like, you know what? Yo, we got to mobilize. We got to come to her aid. But by default, you know what I'm feeling like? By default, I'll be like, why was your pant? What made you go out with no panties on? Why was you out at 3 a.m. in his hotel room? You know what I'm saying? I just started to automatically by default because I'm so desensitized to the idea that women regularly lie about stuff that they're not supposed to do. And guess what? The women ruin that. They don't get the benefit of the doubt anymore because we've seen so much. We've seen so much nonsense that don't make sense. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel with 20 notifications. I want to bring another local issue to the forefront before we get into the Mark Carney, Canada, and all of that other stuff. Vito Royale says, good morning, big bro. About to go get a few of those books you recommended. Hope the Bag Chasers are doing Bag Chaser, the big thing at Bag Chasers. Bronze Hefner in the building. Shout out to you, Vito Royale. Kirsten says, allegedly Miller, the woman, is a scammer. She has a lawsuit accusing a Lyft driver, but an R word that's still going on from when she reported it in 2021. That's why I don't trust people. I genuinely don't trust people. Jerry says, AD in a black robe, giving black t-shirt, black Air Force One energy. We need to start the show with a prayer again. No, I'm in a good space. I'm good. Troy Piron says, the Indian community is very powerful. Saquon says, when I was in the Air Force, I was accused of stalking a girl. Unfortunately for me, both her commander and my commander didn't buy her BS. 3 years later, we ran into each other and had lunch, and she apologized for lying on me. I wouldn't have had lunch with her at all, bro. You're a better man than me. I could forgive you, but I don't even want to be in the same area or vicinity as you. You are a better man than me. I don't want to have lunch with nobody that accused me of doing something that I didn't do. I accept your apology. I forgive you and move on, but I don't want to kick it. Y'all better than me. Kirsten says, the thing that got me, the cops had to review the video to find him in the first place. How can they justify even filing charges with that as evidence? Latrell says, Ashley Merchant is the attorney that's defending him. The woman came from, that's the woman that came from Fannie Willis. Yeah, I would hire Ashley Merchant all day. But Toya says, good morning, Anton. Did you hear about the woman accusing Smokey Robinson of sexual assault? I heard he had a 50 million. I heard 50 million is the new number. Shannon Sharp, Smokey Robinson. So 50 million is just the number. Isn't it like the Salem witch trials? No one learned from that. Shout out to you. I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Let me see this Smokey Robinson thing real quick. Give me a second, y'all. Because I did hear about that, but I don't know much about it. Smokey Robinson.
Or 4 women are making
let me see something. Let's pivot for a second. Let's bring up Smokey Robinson. What's going on with Smokey the Bandit?
4 women are making some disturbing new allegations against a Motown legend. I want to show you a live look at a press conference with the accusers and their attorneys. It's happening as we speak in California. In a lawsuit filed today against Smokey Robinson, the women who used to work for him say he sexually assaulted them and created a hostile work environment, among other things. Robinson's wife is also named in the lawsuit. It details multiple allegations, some as recent as last year. One employee says Robinson sexually assaulted her at least 23 times. 3 of the women say they didn't want to report it to police, in part because they were afraid of risking the possible adverse effect on their immigration statuses, according to the suit. Another says Robinson's, quote, brutal sexual advances were constant and even predictable while she worked for him. His accusers are seeking at least $50 million. NBC News has reached out to Robinson's reps for comment. No word back yet. Camila Bernard.
How come? Okay, so again, I'm going to say the same thing that I said with Shannon Sharp, the same thing that I said with Jay-Z, the same thing that I say with everybody else. How come these women don't file criminal suits? The only thing that they do is they all collectively go and they file civil suits. And what are you talking about, $50 million? Did y'all see Smokey Robinson doing that dance on a whatchamacallit the other day? Did y'all see him doing that pump on stage the other day? Y'all didn't see that? It was crazy. Hold on, let me see if I can do it. See if I can find it. Y'all ain't see this? Smokey tired. Smokey is tired. I mean, he got that smile still because, you know, they be having all of that Botox and he got good teeth. That man is old. So you telling me last year, Smokey Robinson created a hostile work environment? Look at this man. He put his arm down. Come on, stop it, bro. Stop it, family. Stop it. Y'all coming after Smokey Robinson now? How come none of these women, again, ever, he can't even thrust his hips. How come nobody ever files a criminal complaint? Everything becomes a civil suit. And now, let me tell you what women are doing today. They basically moving just like free agents. Sexual assault, they go into the highest bidder they find in the person, a celebrity that they've interacted with, somebody that they work with, somebody that they didn't been around. And they're now taking whatever the highest bidder got on the last lawsuit. So they heard about Shannon Sharp's $50 million debacle. And so now that's the new going rate. We're going to file for $50 million. They're filing for 50 M's by default. They're not trying. They're not coming up with a reasonable number. They're not even trying to do a real shakedown. They're just going with whatever it is the last free agent accused somebody of, and that's what they're going for, whatever it is. Cassie got 30 M's. They tried to go after Jay-Z. He wasn't having it. They going after Shannon Sharp because he was about to get the new $100 million contract, so they sued him for 50 M's. And now they going after Smokey Robinson, and they going after 50 M's for him too. They didn't just go after Smokey Robinson. They going after him and his wife at the same time.
Is joining us now. And obviously, Camila, this is a late-breaking situation. What else do we know? What else are we learning?
Hanley, these are some serious allegations, and the attorneys just now calling Smokey Robinson a serial rapist that needs to be stopped. So again, we have not heard from Smokey Robinson, but these allegations include sexual assault, battery, false imprisonment, you name it. I mean, here is what they're saying. They're saying that these allegations happened repeatedly. You mentioned one of the women saying it happened at least 23 times. The attorneys and the lawsuit saying that you could see a pattern in these allegations. All of them were either housekeepers or house staff, and some of them even working together at the same time. The oldest of these cases going back to 2006, employment in that year. And you mentioned the latest happening just last.
Women should not be able to say that they're Jane Does. Nobody should be able to keep their identity private in a civil suit. Nobody should be able to keep their identity private in a civil suit. That's bullcrap.
last year. These women saying that they were forced to resign because of the repeated sexual assault that they went through. And you mentioned some of them saying that they were worried about their immigration status. Their attorneys also saying they were worried because they lived paycheck to paycheck. They needed that money and were afraid of losing their livelihoods. They were also afraid essentially of the status and the influence that Smokey Robinson had and were afraid of essentially speaking out. Some of these things, obviously not something I can detail on TV, but some serious allegations, Hallie.
That's wild. That is absolutely insane. Again, I don't believe it. I'm not going for it. I think that it's crazy that they taking advantage of this man.
Thanks for being with us here on Live Now from Fox. We do want to
testimony of one victim, but when you're a victim,
look at Smokey. Look at Smokey. He not even. Let me see something.
Hearing remotely, who you can probably see on the screen. Also is Miss Guzman, who's interpreting for us today. This is to announce that earlier today in Los Angeles Superior Court, we filed a complaint against William Smokey Robinson Jr. and his spouse, Frances Robinson.
Why do they do press conferences? Why don't they just sue him? Listen, the first sign, the first thing that you know that this is fake, and this is my personal opinion, the first sign that you know that somebody is coming for you is they do a press conference to announce it. They hire translators. They do a press conference. They probably got somebody doing sign language in there too. They do it. Why are they doing a press conference to kill his name in the court of public opinion in order to try to force his due? Because see, what they basically trying to do is they trying to kill his income stream. They know that he's still working. They know that he's still doing shows. They know that he owed all of this other stuff, right? So the first thing that you know that they're finessing and that they trying to do a shakedown, because all these is huge numbers. They're gonna throw the 50, hoping to get 10. Throw the 50, hoping to get 8. Throw the 50, hoping to get 5. Because the lawyer is gonna get half of it anyway. The lawyer is doing the press conference. They waiting. They ambulance chasers, and then they say a crazy number. Hopefully he offered 20. Maybe he got 15. Maybe he got 12. They're gonna distribute the 6. The 6 gonna go out to the victims. So all of them is gonna get what? 1.5 a piece, and then the lawyer gonna take the other 6. This is a racket. This is absolutely a racket, and I don't like it. And this is making you not trust people. It messes up your trust. Your trust is just absolutely shattered as a result of it.
The principal causes of action against Mr. Robinson in particular are sexual battery, assault, false imprisonment, gender violence, and creating a hostile work environment.
What the hell is gender violence? Can somebody familiarize me with what gender violence is? I'm trying to understand. I have never seen a charge of gender violence or an accusation of gender violence.
Obviously, these ladies are identified in the lawsuit as those.
And yes, I am flying in the BDL. I am flying in the BDL today.
Jane Does 1 through 4 to protect their privacy, since the lawsuit involves sexual misconduct of the worst sort. We're seeking damages of $50 million. Obviously, no amount of money can compensate these women for what Mr. Robinson subjected them to.
This is crazy.
No amount. We're seeking damages of $50 million.
I'm broke. I ain't got it. I ain't got nothing. I'm tapped. I got $300 to my name. All of my money is spent. I ain't got it. Nothing needs. If you looking to accuse me, know that I'm broke. I ain't got it. It ain't nothing for us to talk about. And if you're looking for a come up, just know that I'm doing this show for charity work. I'm doing this for charity work. Real talk. I'm not even gonna say what I would rather do. Listen, if you coming for, I don't even want to say this on the stream. I'm not Smokey. I know some people that have fixed the problem for $5,000 a pop. I know some fixers that have fixed this problem for $5,000 a pop. Real talk. You're not getting $3 out of me, big dog. You're not getting $3 out of me, bro. Not three. This is crazy, bro. And I keep telling y'all that nobody is going to be safe from this. I'm talking about attorneys, Yakar. That's correct. I am talking about attorneys. I'm talking about attorneys. No Trini life. Don't put that on me. I'm talking about attorneys. Talking about attorneys. I don't get into that nonsense. This is crazy, man. This is so crazy. It's insane, bro. This is insane. Never, ever. Listen, don't even hit me with a conversation. Don't hit me with a subpoena. Don't come to me and say, yo, man, I'm thinking about. Don't let me catch wind of it. Not doing it. We're not going to play this game. I didn't work my whole life and was dick disciplined my whole life just to be dealing with some hood rats that's looking to take everything from me. Nope, not at all. Cameras is in this joint. Paperwork, signatures. Listen, let me tell y'all something, fellas. Forget all of this nonsense. They just finessing Smokey Robinson and they trying to take his money. Let me tell y'all something, fellas. Here's the key. The reason why you want to do an NDA is to protect people from talking about you or talking about what goes around you, talking about your business, talking about the people that surround you. It's for your protection and for my protection. The NDA, the non-disclosure agreement, means that you can't talk about things that you're not supposed to talk about. That's number one. The consent agreement, and I don't care if she looks like a booger wolf. I don't care if she's 70 and you're 20. I don't care what she's doing and what she's looking like. I don't care if you've never had any intention of busting her down at all. At all. The reason why a consent agreement is necessary is because if we never do nothing, which I have no intention of doing anything with you at all, it shows that you had the intent and you was open to it regardless. That way you can't falsely accuse me of something that's saying that you was trying to get into it. And here's one of the keys, and this is one of the things that the lawyers was telling me. One of the keys is that you have to give it to them, not necessarily with you with them. They have to record themselves doing it. You also want to keep a documentation of the interaction and because you want to make sure that they're not signing it under duress. You want to make sure that they're not signing it under duress. And it's unfortunate that we have to do that. Go ahead and get DocuSign. Make sure that you record it. Make sure that they talk and all of this stuff. But it's insane because it's for your protection, even for certain people to be around you. It's for your protection for people to be around you. Don't have nothing to do with wanting to touch her. Don't have nothing to do with busting it down. Brandon L said, I'm glad I've been married for 20 years and have never been in the streets. Brandon, this is what I'm trying to tell you. It's not about whether or not you're married or unmarried. They going after Smokey and his wife. It ain't even about being in the streets. Anybody at any time can accuse anybody. And I keep using Jay-Z as an example. And I know we're using celebrities, but I'm using examples that we all know. Jay-Z got accused and he never seen the girl before in his life. The chick just completely made up a false story. And he's had to spend the last few months trying to clear his name and going after the lawyer. They are accusing the person of doing something and he never was even around them. That's what I'm saying. There are women that are going back and finding out that certain guys are successful, and the New York Survivors Act and stuff like that. Sometimes they revive it. They revived it in Los Angeles. They revived it in New York. And there are women that are going back and saying, hey, wait a minute. He touched me 30 years ago. 30 years ago. Trump got sued for a woman, Eugene Carroll, and she said that he touched her in a department store. And he was like, man, I don't know that woman. Who is that? And that's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. Like, it doesn't matter who you are. It don't matter what your circumstances. It don't matter. It shouldn't happen to single people. It shouldn't happen to married people. It shouldn't happen to anybody that is being falsely accused. It's nonsense. And they never file a criminal complaint. They always file a civil suit. They never file a criminal complaint. They always file a civil suit. And this is what I'm saying. I don't believe nobody by default. What about the deals that you got on the table? The potential earnings that you probably lose? Your reputation is damaged. Anybody can admit to anything. Anybody can say anything. Anybody could say anything. That is crazy. So be careful. I'm trying to tell y'all, all y'all wanted to jump on the bandwagon and say this person is guilty by default. Be careful. All men are under attack. Be very, very careful. Let me see what this say. They got another NFL player jammed up too, Justin Tucker, and he's a white man. And then I remember the baseball player. What was the baseball player that got accused by the chick that was on Pop the Balloon? He got accused by that black girl that was on Pop the Balloon, and she had done it more than one time. And now he finally was able to clear his own name. Remember the baseball player? He got outcast. He lost all of these tens of millions of dollars, and he had to go play baseball in like Japan or something like that. Do y'all remember that? Who was the base? Trevor Bauer. Trevor Bauer got falsely accused. Trevor Bauer got falsely accused. And everybody was saying that he never recovered. He never recovered. Not one time. He had to start a YouTube channel. Manuel G says Byron Scott just got accused of SA 38 years ago. Skinny Boy Django says, if you don't know, that would help you in your immigration legal status when filing an abuse. Leave Smokey alone, says Big. Noble Xavier says they want 20 million. That's 20 million and tens and the rest in fives. 50 million. That OF chick messing with Shay Shay went and reset the market. Get the heck out of here, dude. It's 85 years old. This is bananas. You know who got out good? You know who got out good? Quincy Jones. Quincy Jones went out good. Quincy Jones never had a problem. He got paid. He was balling. They say Quincy Jones was out here playing with men and stuff like that. They say that they were sniffing coke, living a life. And Quincy Jones was like, listen, I see what y'all doing to these other guys. I'm out of here. Peace. Quincy lived a good life, made a lot of money, did a lot of partying, and got the hell out of Dodge. Quincy Jones got the hell out of Dodge. He never caught this type of stuff and this type of visibility. He got up out of there. Quincy lived a phenomenal life. So where are the police reports? It's a civil suit. You don't have to file a police report. You can accuse anybody of anything. Anybody can accuse anybody of anything. Anyways, y'all, let's go ahead and get to the meat and potatoes, and let's get it popping. So Trump, Canada. No, have you guys noticed that nobody ever flies? Think about this for a second, y'all. Trump never flies to their country. All of them talk tough. All of them talk really, really heavy. None of them ever actually does anything, and all of them comes to the United States of America and say, you know what, we got to make sure that we address Trump. We want to meet with him in person. Have y'all noticed that Justin Trudeau, all of these different people from everywhere, Trump never flies to their country. He never sends his people to meet with them in their country. All of them have to make trips and make plans to fly to the United States of America to come and meet with Trump. Well, Mark Carney recently won the election over there in Canada, and he said that he wanted to fly to the United States of America to meet with Trump to have a conversation, and they wound up having it publicly. This is another thing that I like about Trump. Trump actually does all of his meetings in person, and he doesn't hide anything from the media, and so he actually has conversations with people without having to worry about whether or not it's going to be in secret. You never seen this from any other administration in person. So I'm gonna play a little bit of it. I haven't seen it personally myself. I've seen a clip of it, but I haven't seen the full conversation. I'm gonna see if I can mine anything out from this.
Relentless focus on the American worker, securing your borders.
Like important announcements that have been made Monday books, and I won't tell you on what. Now, have maybe before we're going to, as you know, the Middle East, Saudi Arabia. We're going to UAE and Qatar, and that'll be, I guess, Monday night. Some of you are coming with us. I think before then, we're going to have a very, very big announcement to make, like as big as it gets. And I won't tell you on what, but it's going to, and it's very positive. I'd tell you if it was negative or positive. I can't keep that out. It is really, really positive. And that announcement will be made either Thursday or Friday or Monday before we leave. But it'll be one of the most important announcements that have been made in many years about a certain subject, very important subject. So you'll all be here. Mark, would you like to say a few words?
What do y'all think it could be in the chat? What do y'all think it's going to be in the chat? What is this really huge announcement that y'all think that Trump is going to make? Tomorrow, Friday, Monday? Now I got to be glued. I had to make sure that I got Wi-Fi on my plane. Of course, we're going to go first class. Of course, we got that. If you don't have that reddish purple thing, if you ain't got that one, if you ain't got this one right here, this reddish purple one, we don't want to talk about it. 2A. Only thing I like to ride is 2A. Give me 2A. I'm good. 2A or 2D. 2A or 2D. That's the best seat in the house. 2A. 2A. Ain't that what Nipsey said? What do y'all think that it could be that Trump would possibly announce? I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. I'm on the edge of my seat, actually, for the big announcement. But thank you for your hospitality and above all for your leadership. You're a transformational president. The focus on the economy with a relentless focus on the American worker, securing your borders, ending the scourge of fentanyl and other opioids, and securing the world. And I've been elected with my colleagues here. With the help of my colleagues here, I'm going to spread the credit to transform Canada with a similar focus on the economy, securing our borders, again on fentanyl, much greater focus on defense and security, securing the Arctic and developing the Arctic. And the history of Canada and the U.S. is we're stronger when we work together, and there's many opportunities to work together. And I look forward to, addressing some of those issues that we have, but also finding those areas of mutual cooperation so we can go forward.
That's great. Very nice. Thank you very much. It's a very nice statement.
Anybody? Is USMCA dead?
No, it was actually very effective, and it's still very effective, but people have to follow it. So, that's been a problem. People haven't followed it. But it was a transitional step a little bit. And as you know, it terminates fairly shortly. It gets renegotiated very shortly. But I thought it was a very positive step from NAFTA. NAFTA was the worst trade deal in the history of our country, probably in the history of the world.
I agree.
And
NAFTA
this was a transitional deal, and we'll see what happens. We're going to be starting to possibly renegotiate that if it's even necessary. I don't know that it's necessary anymore, but it served a very good purpose. And the biggest purpose it served is we got rid of NAFTA. NAFTA was a very unfair deal for the United States. Very, very terrible deal. It should have never been made. It was made many years ago, but it should have never been made.
Canada and the United States. Would you like to see your first trade deal be with Canada?
I would love that. Look, I have a lot of respect for this man. and I watched him come up in a sense through the ranks when he wasn't given much of a chance, and he ran a really great campaign. He did a really great debate. I think that debate was very helpful. I was going to raise my hand. I don't know if that's good or bad. I shouldn't say that. That might hurt you. But no, he ran a really great election, I thought. And yeah, something could happen. Something could happen.
Oh my gosh. Look at Trump. Jesus.
Yeah, please. Concession?
Yes.
Friendship.
That's not a concession.
No, we're going to be friends with Canada. Regardless of anything, we're going to be friends with Canada. Canada is a very special place to me. I know so many people that live in Canada. My parents had relatives that lived in Canada, my mother in particular. And no, I love Canada. I have a lot of respect for the Canadians. Wayne Gretzky, I mean, how good, the great one. You happen to have a very, very good hockey player right here on the Capitals, who I have a lot of. He is a big, tough cookie too. He just broke the record, and he's a great guy. And we had the team here, and I got to know a lot of the players. But now Canada is a very special place. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, Mr. Prime Minister, I'd like to get your response to this too. Mr. President, you have said that Canada should become the 51st state.
Yeah. No. Well, I still believe that, but it takes two to tango, right? But no, I do. I mean, I believe it would be a massive tax cut for the Canadian citizens. You get free military, you get tremendous medical cares and other things. There would be a lot of advantages, but it would be a massive tax cut. And it's also a beautiful, as a real estate developer, I'm a real estate developer at heart. When you get rid of that artificially drawn line, somebody drew that line many years ago with like a ruler, just a straight line right across the top of the country. When you look at that beautiful formation,
Cameraman ain't shit. They must got the same cameraman that be on Pop the Balloon. When Trump started talking about Canada and he started talking about they need to stop undrawing a line. Why did the cameraman zoom out to see what Mark Carney's reaction was going to be to it?
When it's together. I'm a very artistic person, but when I looked at that beauty, I said, that's the way it was meant to be. But, I do feel it's much better for Canada, but we're not going to be discussing that unless somebody wants to discuss it. I think that there are tremendous benefits to the Canadian citizens, tremendously lower taxes, free military, which honestly we give you essentially anyway, because we're protecting Canada if you ever had a problem. But I think it would really.
Oh my God. Dog. He low broing them. You can't, dog, don't let him low bro you right there inside of the Oval Office. I guess he made an example of Zelensky, so you don't want to end up being another Zelensky though, right? He just little broing him. He little broing him the whole time.
Really be a wonderful marriage because it's two places that get along very well. They like each other a lot.
Well, if I may, as you know from real estate, there are some places that are never for sale.
That's true.
We're sitting in one right now, Buckingham Palace that you visited as well.
That's true.
And having met with the owners of Canada over the course of the campaign last several months, it's not for sale, won't be for sale ever. But the opportunity is in the partnership and what we can build together. We have done that in the past. And part of that, as the president just said, is with respect to our own security. And my government is committed for a step change in our investment in Canadian security and our partnership. And I'll say this as well, that the president has revitalized international security, revitalized NATO, and us playing our full weight in NATO, and that will be part of it.
And they have, I must say, Canada is stepping up the military participation because Mark knew, they were low and now they're stepping it up. And that's a very important thing. But never say never. Never say never.
What? Oh my God. Oh man. Feel like he talking to his little homie. Hey man, listen, bro. I mean, she kind of like both of ours. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, she worked for me, but she go home to you. You know how it is. You know what I'm saying? Not a big deal. Might as well just let her stay overnight. And then you start, no, she's my girl, and I'm not gonna let you have her. She's never going to be yours. And then Trump say, you know what? I like the way you stepped up as a man, but never say never. never say never. She both of ours. I'm gonna just let her stay at your house for the night. You know what I'm saying? She worked for me, but she go home for you. You know what I'm saying? So let's. I like the way that you continuing to be the man that you're supposed to be for the kids. Shout out to you.
What would it take to get the terrorists off of Canada?
Well, we'll be talking about different things. Like, we want to protect our automobile business, and so does Mark. But we want to make the automobiles, and we want to, we have a tremendous abundance of energy, more than any country. We have, just in Alaska alone, Anwar has been reopened now. Anwar is probably the largest find anywhere in the world. They say it's larger than Saudi Arabia. I don't know, but it's a lot. But we have tremendous amounts of energy. Other countries don't. We're both lucky in that way. They have energy. We have energy. We have more than we can ever use and more than we could ever sell, actually. And you have the same thing. So we're two countries that are very lucky. If you look at China, they don't have that. It's a big disadvantage. Other countries, most countries don't have. Most countries don't have that. So Canada and us, we have a lot of advantages over other places.
Mr. President, when you consider what Mr. Carney just said, that Canada is not for sale, does this make the discussion a little more difficult to start on?
No, not at all. No, not at all. No, time will tell. It's only time. But I say, never say never. I've had many, many things that were not doable, and they ended up being doable, and only doable in a very friendly way. But if it's to everybody's benefit, Canada loves us and we love Canada. That's, I think, the number one thing that's important. But we'll see. I mean, over time, we'll see what happens.
He was so uncomfortable, bro.
China.
He's so uncomfortable.
This is what Ivy League.
Hey, what's going on here? Oh, I see what's going on. We got the wrong account here. All right, let's go over the
immigration process.
He is a big, tough cookie, too. He just broke the record. Turning around in the Pacific Ocean. Big turn. Those are big ships. Those ships take about 10 miles to turn.
Got to go to the premium. You know what I'm saying? We had to switch over to premium. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And, we lost $1 trillion to China on trade because of an incompetent president that we had who preceded me, grossly incompetent. You're finding it out more and more now. And by not trading, we're losing nothing. So we're saving $1 trillion. It's a lot. But they want to negotiate and they want to have a meeting, and we'll be meeting with them at the right time.
But you haven't met with them yet.
I have not met with them. Of course, you would know if I met. I'd tell you they want to meet. But, we are right now, look, they're suffering greatly. Their economy is suffering greatly because they're not doing trade with the U.S. And they made most of their money off the U.S. Don't kid yourself. They don't make the money off other countries like this. And we had a trade imbalance. We had a deficit, or they had a surplus, another way of saying it, of more than $1 trillion. Think of it, more than $1 trillion. And because of 145%, that's the only reason, but because of they have now 145% tariff, there's no trading. You can't trade with 145%. We are therefore making, in a certain way, I guess, $1.1 trillion. In other words, we're not losing $1.1 trillion. Our deficit is much better. When I started, I say we were losing billions of dollars a day on trade. That's rapidly turning around. We looked at numbers this morning. So we were losing, the United States during Biden was losing more than I won't even give you numbers because they're so embarrassing, but billions of dollars.
Why do y'all say y'all trying to look for my troll account on the side? What troll? I don't have a troll account. I don't have what is a troll account? Y'all actually think that people got a troll account? No. I got my regular accounts. I manage this channel. I got my daughter, and then Millionaire Morning Show, After Hours, and Darth Anton. That's it. What is a troll account?
A day on trade.
Y'all set up troll accounts? Oh, we too grown. We ain't got time for no troll account, fam.
Those numbers are rapidly turning between the tariffs. Don't forget, we're now getting 25% on cars, 25% on aluminum, 25% on steel, and maybe more importantly, massive numbers of companies are moving into the United States. Honda, we have tremendous, the car companies are moving in at levels we've never seen before. The biggest investment ever made in the United States is
the wrong account. Was looking at it with the Millionaire Morning Show account. I got premium on the Anton Daniels channel, and so that's the channel that I use to surf things and find out what's going on.
being made right now. Trillions of dollars. I would say we could be at $9 trillion. You could go back to other presidents. They haven't had $1 trillion for their entire term. Look at Biden. He had bad numbers. People were leaving. They weren't coming in. They were leaving with Biden, and he didn't know the difference. The only thing he knew is people coming in. You know who they were? Illegal immigrants, okay, from prisons, from mental institutions, from all sorts of places that weren't good, from gangs, from Venezuela. They were coming in and they were criminals and murderers. 11,888 people that murdered, and at least half of them murdered more than one person. This is what Biden led into our country. I'm bringing in big companies.
Shout out to Trump. And then they went on and they had some more discussions and they had some more uncomfortable conversations. No, Relentless. I don't have troll accounts. I just talk shit sometimes, and sometimes y'all believe me and sometimes y'all don't. But it's good to talk it because then people don't know whether you're serious or not. They don't know whether or not you're trolling or not. If I say that I'm going to go on a bust down your tour, bust down your chick tour, then they be like, oh, Anton is just talking stuff. He don't really have no bust down your chick tour. He not really trying to bust down my chick. Until I do, and then I can say, well, no, I told you that I was going. But then if you don't believe me, then I could be like, man, I was just playing. So it's got to be both. You know what I'm saying? If I start talking about hoes all the time, and then I pop up with a new hoe, then I can say, man, I told you I live my life like an open book. But then, you know what I'm saying? If I don't, or if you feel comfortable, then I could just be like, man, don't you know I was just messing around? I wasn't really serious about that. So you got to keep them guessing. You got to keep them guessing. You can never put people in a position to where they have power on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be able to play it both ways. And so, you know, on one hand, man, what are you talking about? I'm a family man. Ain't nobody trying to be out here in the streets. Come over here, Rita. Hey, what's going on, baby girl? And then on the other hand, you can be like, man, if you keep talking stuff, bro, I'm going to take your chick and she going to be both of ours. And then I could pop up with a new chick. And then you can't trip about me because then you already know that I wasn't serious, but I was just playing. But when I was playing, I was really serious. And so you don't really understand what's going on. Right? You don't know. You have no clue. You know what I present to you, and then you know what you think you know. And then you also know what you think I'm playing. But then sometimes I might be serious when I'm really playing, or when you think I'm playing, but then sometimes I'm not so serious when I'm just chilling and I'm just hanging out. So you don't know. You never know. You never know. You got to keep them guessing. You got to keep them guessing. You know what I'm saying? They catch you out in the streets. They want to hit you with the camera. I don't care. You can take all the pictures that you want. Oh, there's a tour, Trini Life. Or is there a tour? We don't know. We don't know. I will be in Springfield tonight. Oh, make sure I hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel. Facts, Foxhole, that's a fact. Greg Charlie says, whatever happened to the 66 women that accused Deshaun Watson of being a freaky man No one ever spoke about that again. Well, usually it's a transaction that's involved. I'm just not saying that that's what happens. But usually there's a transaction that makes that go away. I love Mr. Rowe, big boss, relaxed vibe. Shout out to Skinny Boy. Darnell says Mark Carney has Ripple XRP ties. The more you know. Manuel AG says, and Canada elected this man because he was going to be tough on Trump. Now we know that that's cap. Canada is not for sale. Trump says, I mean, Trump called Carney over and told him to wear the lipstick that he likes. Oh my God. Kirsten says, you don't want all of Canada. A lot of liberals up there in the East. West is conservatives. I'm in Alberta and we pay billions to other provinces. Maybe we can get Canada, but we just don't allow for them to vote. You know what I'm saying? We can do it that way. Rush King 19 says, whole buying Canada thing is like when you see a nice car in your neighborhood just sitting and you keep asking the owner, when will he sell it to you? Anton Bro said, get me out of here, not for sale, Whiskey Pierre. Listen, everything is for sale. That's for sure. That's what I want to make sure that y'all understand. Everything, no, not Springfield, Ohio, Springfield, Massachusetts. Everything is for sale. Everything is for sale. Almost every woman is for sale. But the right price may not necessarily be money. The right price may not even necessarily be money. Some women just want a good compliment. Some women just want to be seen. Some women want a provider, man. Some women, the price is masculinity because she's so used to being in her masculinity, and sometimes she just want to be relaxing. But some women, it might be the D. You never know what the price is, but you don't know the price because you're not inquiring about whether or not it's for sale. You automatically assume that it wasn't for sale. It is for sale. You just didn't hit the right number yet. It absolutely is for sale. You just didn't hit the right number yet. Yep. Not a penny more, not a penny less. Not a penny more, not a penny less. Almost everything is for sale. Zaya, you want me to come to your city? What city y'all in? What city y'all want me to come to? The fake Molly is saying I'm saying a lot of nonsense. The fake Molly, not the real Molly. The real Molly loved me. I can call her right now. She's like, hey, Anton, what do you need from me? What do you need from me? Not the fake Molly, the real Molly. Yeah, they trying to imitate you, Molly. I'm not going to let them. I'm not going to let them. Mika, they trying to imitate Molly. I'm not going to let them. Molly, they trying to imitate you. They going to remix their name and try to get themselves a more unique name. I'm not going for it. It's only one Molly. Look at Nate. Nate, look at Nate. Look at the jealous Nate. Nate says, Anton think he funny. You're not, bro. Nate Ism says, I think I'm funny and I'm not. I bet you if I hung out with your girl for 2 hours, she would think that I'm funny. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. Make her laugh them panties off. Oh my God, you so hilarious. And I'll be like, don't take them panties off. What are you taking your panties off for? I thought you wanted some. Face down, ass up. We only doing face over here. We're not trying to make it messy. We're not trying to get complicated. We're not trying to have drawers everywhere. Socks over there. Next thing you know, you got a sock that's hidden in my bed somewhere. Yeah, you don't even know what life is like until you see a random sock in your sheets. You don't even know what life is like until you see a random sock in your sheets. And then just to be safe, you got to throw the sock away because you can't go to your girl and say, hey, did your sock come off? No, that's not my sock. Them not my panties. You don't want that problem. You don't want that problem. Until you see a random sock or an earring. Listen, bro, a lot of chicks, I'm going to tell you the honest to God truth, Mr. Lot, and then we're going to go over to Mark Carney's reaction to him going to the White House. A lot of chicks like to leave clues. A lot of women like to try to leave clues for other women to find. They'll leave a little fake earring over there. Make sure that they drop something inside of the trash. You know how it is. But we hip to y'all nowadays. I've been giving my guys all the plays on how to make sure that they don't get caught up with y'all and getting in trouble. Leave a little strand of hair over there. We don't care nothing about that. We got a Dyson. We use Dysons over here. Dysons get all of that out. Get the pet hair out. Get everything out. They do. They like to leave clues. They like to try to drop stuff in there. Sign into the Netflix with their own account. Next thing you know, when they cut the TV on, because they know that you don't watch TV, they cut the TV on. Who is Keisha? What you gonna say? Because she purposely signed out of your Netflix account, signed into her Netflix account on your TV on purpose, and then hurry up and cut the TV off. I'm hip to all of y'all tricks. I'm hip to everything. I'm hip to everything. You cannot trick us no more. We know all of your tricks. We know how you trying to break us up so that you can then slide in and try to be a part of the crew. We not doing none of that. See, I just put somebody up on something that they wasn't aware of. I just put somebody up on something that they wasn't aware of. Don't let her sign into your Netflix account. You're going to forget to sign out. I guarantee you. Every single time. Every time. Look, somebody texting me now. Why? What you talking about? Why are you saying that? Shouldn't have tried to put your Netflix in. Janice know what's up. Janice know what's up. Anyways, make sure you guys hit a like. See, you didn't know, Crown. I just put you up on game. Don't let Molly try to, you know what I'm saying? Molly ain't going to tell y'all how these chicks is really getting down out here. At least 300 dudes ran to the TV just now. Quinn didn't know. See? I'm going to put you up on game. I'm going to put you up on game. Yes, I am. Listen, I know all of these little tricks that these chicks keep trying to pull. Look under your seat cushions, fellas. Get the Dyson. Let me show y'all which Dyson y'all got to get. Then we're going to get back. Dyson that y'all need right here. Get this one. This is the good joint right here. It recharges. It's portable. It also got the thing on it where you can either do, you know what I'm saying? It's got the carbon fiber. It goes through all of the carpet and everything like that. It's got this joint on here. It also got the, you know what I'm saying, the shampooer and everything. And then you can just pull it off like that. Do the mobile, and then you can hit the couch. You all set, dog. You ain't got nothing to worry about. This thing picks up everything. See that? Picks up everything. Very powerful, mobile, no cords. You're good. You good. I'm telling you, you good. Hit the couch right there. You good. You get to the, it costs. I think this one might be like $1,200. I mean, $1,200 or something like that. It costs to get everything out. Make sure y'all wash your your rugs that's inside of your bathroom too. Like the little hints in there. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel. No, don't get the dirt. Don't get the Kirby. I've had the Kirby. It's not the same. Get the Dyson. The Dyson is way more mobile. It's way better. No cords, no none of that. Anyways, make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel with turn on your notifications. Let me go ahead and read some of these super chats. Brilliance Music is in the building. Shout out to you. Wesley Turner says, every time you think I'm coming, I switch my days. Every time you think you know me, I switch my ways. I like that. I like that, Wesley. Jim Short says, Anton, look across the river, whispering to himself, it's free real estate. I see y'all Canada out there. Mr. Lot says, or an earring every time. Hair tie, but I got a daughter. See, you got another play. Got to move like it was a crime scene. Facts. Facts. Always go behind them when they use the bathroom too. They always fold the toilet paper a certain way. So to make sure it gets flush, kings. Listen, the key about your house is that you got to have habits and you got to know your house. But guys that don't clean up their own house or is not familiar with their own house, the problem for a lot of y'all is that y'all don't know what's going to be different because the only person that used that particular bathroom is your girl or you or the company, right? So a lot of times, like, I got showers in every bathroom, right? I got a full bathroom. I go through and I use all of the restrooms. I use all of the showers. I use all of the tubs. I use everything. So I am familiar with how my stuff is supposed to be when it's supposed to be. I know just doing a random walk through and sweep of the house of exactly what's supposed to be there. Check your refrigerator. She keep on bringing leftovers. Get them leftovers. Everything out of the fridge. Get it up out of there. You know what I'm saying? Uncle Anton, you're known as Thanos of YouTube. They hate you for no reason. That's because I'm gonna come for everybody. Got her locked in the phone as alias is Dyson. I'm not gonna keep on giving y'all. This is not the show where I'm supposed to be talking about this. We're supposed to be talking about politics, money, resources. Let's go over to Mark Carney, y'all. Thank y'all for holding me down. I'm thinking that it's Friday. It's only Wednesday. Mark Carney decided to pop up and he wanted to have a conversation about what his experience was with meeting with Trump after leaving the White House. And so he had this conversation and he held a press conference in Washington, D.C. shortly after meeting with Trump. And so we're going to go over there and take you over to Mark Carney and see what he had to say. This was his thoughts.
For welcoming me and my colleagues to the White House and for our very constructive discussions. I conveyed to the president today what our countries have long proven to be true, that Canada and the United States are stronger when we work together. We can get a better deal for our workers. We can create more opportunities for our businesses. We can build stronger economies across North America when we work together.
Shawnee, why are you acting like that? Shawnee, nobody is saying that this is what's really happening. I'm just having conversations based off of what I hear other guys telling me when I'm on coaching calls or when I'm having conversations with the fellas. We just shooting it. We not really serious. We messing around. None of that really happens. We don't worry about that. Life is good. Life is good, Shawnee. It's all fun and games. We just messing around. Don't take it seriously, baby girl. Let's continue. All right.
And really today marked the end of the beginning of a process of the United States and Canada redefining that relationship of working together. The question is how we will cooperate in the future, how we can build an economic and security relationship built on mutual respect, built on common interests, and that delivers transformational benefits to our economies.
Today, I'm going to teach you the pink.
All right, we messing up today. This is bad.
President, et nous allons bâtir une seule économie canadienne, pas 13.
We don't do that.
We are masters in our own home, and we can give ourselves far more than any foreign government can ever take away. So now is the time to build, and based on the discussion today, to build at home and to build with our partners abroad, including the United States. Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much, and I look forward to your questions.
Thank you, Prime Minister. We'll now begin the press conference. We'll begin with questions from the traveling delegation.
Somebody says, Anton, why not just get premium for all of your accounts? Well, why would I do that? Why would I overpay when I only need one account to have premium in order for me not to have ads? Listen, I may have a little teeny bit of money, but that don't mean that I'm just going to blow it for no reason and give it all to YouTube. We're appreciative of YouTube. Thank you, YouTube, for holding us down, but it ain't no way in the world that I'm going to just be having premium for 4 or 5 different accounts. That don't make sense. No.
First question, première question.
Good afternoon, Prime Minister Tonda McCharles, Toronto Star. I was watching your face through the meeting in the Oval Office, and I wondered what was going through your mind when the president talked about erasing the artificial border and how he criticized your predecessor and Madam Freeland.
Thank you for your question. I'm glad that you couldn't tell what was going through my mind as that was going through. With respect to the first point, the president has made known his wish about that issue for some time. I've been careful always to distinguish between wish and reality. I was clear there in the Oval Office, as I've been clear throughout on behalf of Canadians, that this is never going to happen. Canada is not for sale. It never will be for sale. Some things, as I said in the room, some things are never for sale. And he agreed with that. I distinguish between the two. And then with respect to the importance of reestablishing a constructive relationship for negotiations of a partnership, of an economic and security partnership, which is what we were here for, I look forward, not back. And I think we established a good basis today.
I don't think that he achieved what he thought that he was going to achieve. I think that he looks the same thing. He looks the same way as Justin Trudeau. Look, when Justin Trudeau took that emergency flight here to the United States of America, right after Trump announced that he was going to start implementing tariffs when he won president of the United States of America. The problem with Justin Trudeau, the minute that Justin Trudeau tried to endorse Kamala Harris and tried to stand up to Trump, he just made himself look like a fool. And that's when he started calling him the governor, which ultimately led to him resigning. And then, you seen Mark Carney come up. I think that Canada would be better served with a more conservative leadership. Obviously, that's out of the window because of the most recent election that was over in Canada, and they elected to just go with another Justin Trudeau and Mark Carney. I don't think that Mark Carney really understands what he's up against yet, but he found out. And if Mark Carney probably knew that he was going to be on display at the White House, he probably would have never came in the first place. Him trying to build up relationships and economic relations with the United States of America is the same thing as a woman that's trying to hold on to their first round draft pick while he's getting drafted, knowing that he don't really need her. Canada is trying to show America the value that Canada provides, but we don't really need Canada. It's like a nice to have. The woman that is trying to get him to marry them at the draft is really just a good side chick. You don't really have to marry her. She can probably stick around. It'll be beneficial for her to be around, and she can probably add some value, but we really don't need her because we got a whole lot of other people that we need to do business with first. And so the value of Canada, as far as what it is that we put into her versus, and I keep calling Canada her. I don't want to call Canada her. I like Canada. I haven't been over there in a while, but I'm looking at y'all right now. Y'all got a lot of trees, a lot of landscape, not a lot of skyscrapers. When I look at us versus y'all, I kind of look at y'all like my little girl. It's like a little girlfriend. We're going to visit you one day. We just can't visit you right now because we're a little busy. But my point is that what Trump has proven is that Canada exponentially needs us way more than we need them. But Canada at the same time is trying to sit there and have a conversation with us and telling us about what all she was doing for us and how she was holding us down way before we got this money. Listen, if you've never been with a woman and they sit there and tell you, I loved you before the money, but you knew I was going to be rich, so it's a little bit different. You already knew that I was going to get rich. You knew what we was. You knew what this was. Stop acting like you wasn't prospecting to make sure that you was taken care of for the rest of your life. If you've never been around a woman and they didn't say something to you like, I was with you before the money, they didn't mean nothing to me. I loved you as you. I loved you for you. That's the same thing that Canada is doing to the United States of America right now. And listen, don't get me wrong. My C student brain kind of breaks things down. And I use other examples to illustrate a point so y'all can better understand what the relationship is between the United States and Canada. It's colder up there. They have a much smaller population. They don't necessarily have anything that we need, but they got a lot of nice to haves. But the question that we are starting to ask ourselves is, with all of the annoyance that you're starting to cause and the fact that you wasn't contributing your fair share, and we've been pouring into you for all of this time, what value do you bring and how much more can you add into us before we take into consideration whether or not we still want to really still have this relationship in the same way? We may need to be renegotiating this relationship, and we may need to have this conversation a little bit differently. Flat out, we've been protecting y'all with the military. We've been letting y'all benefit off our industries. We let all of our automakers go up there and build plants in order to be able to go up there, and then y'all piggybacked off of the UAW and created Unifor in order to try to make sure you took advantage and you built up your manufacturing and you took advantage of what's happening here in the United States of America. Okay, but wait a minute. Did you really love me? And if you love me, why are you doing me this way? Why are you taking advantage of me? Why are you not pouring into me? Why you just shop all day and you don't ever cook? That's the way I see it.
What gives you specifically any
Thank you,
indication
Brandon.
that the president is willing to renegotiate a new trade deal with you and drop tariffs?
Apart from the fact that he said that he would, is willing to have that negotiation. I think that's
I'm not putting women
the
down.
main thing.
I'm not putting women down. I love women. Look at this. Simple Living says, here Anton always goes with putting women down sad. Men will be lovers of men. Because I equated the relationship of Canada with being a really good side chick that think that they should be married. What are you talking about? Come on, y'all. Y'all got to stop. You got to get out of your feelings. You got to get out of your feelings, Simple Living. And I know for a fact that this is a woman because I can't imagine a man naming themselves Simple Living. No man, unless you're sassy, would name yourself Simple Living. No man would do that. No man would go in there and say, you know what? You know, we think of all kind of names. Agent of Destruction. I'm Thanos 2. You might go with your regular name. Mr. King of all of this. Mr. King Ding-a-ling. Something like that. But then we saying our heads prevail and we get a more regular name. No man goes online and says, you know what? I want to name myself Simple Living. No man does that. So come on, relax. Relax. Don't take yourself too serious. Have a joke, have a drink, and have a seat. Have a joke, have a drink, and have a seat. Don't take yourself too serious. I'm just trying to help you to understand how to look at it from a C student's perspective.
That doesn't presuppose the outcome of the negotiation. As I've emphasized, it's a complex negotiation. There'll be zigs and zags, difficult aspects to it. But the prospect is there. We discussed it in more detail. And as I said a moment ago, we'll be following up both between officials, but also he and I in the coming weeks.
What up, late night?
Bon, sorry. Thank you. Thank you.
Bonjour, Monsieur Carney.
Bonjour, madame.
Avec quoi ressortez-vous
No, we don't do that.
Du Canada, les objectifs stratégiques qui existent.
Monsieur Trump sur les tarifs. Plusieurs.
Issues in the room, so to speak, in the lunch afterwards, including autos, and specifically, without going into the full details, the strategic position of the North American auto industry, or more specifically, the Canadian-U.S. auto industry, versus foreign competition, including from Asia, and how that could be enhanced. I and the Canadian government, and I would say the Canadian auto industry, I would actually say the auto industry as a whole,
thank you, Tasha,
is of the view that Canada, Canadian auto workers, Canadian auto companies, Canadian parts companies, Canadian steel, Canadian aluminum, all play an important role in enhancing the competitiveness of American auto companies. So we will continue to press that case. And
I think that Canada is very, very, very afraid of losing some of their industries. I think that that's what the real play is. I don't think it has anything to do with tariffs. I don't think it has anything to do with energy prices. I don't think it has anything to do with potash or any of that type of stuff, forestry. I don't think that that's what the real concern is. I think that the concern is that they are really, really, really scared about losing certain industries. And like, for example, right? You talk about the auto industry, you got to realize that Canada does not have a domestic automaker. There is not a Canadian automaker. Mexico and Canada, neither one of them have a Mexican auto company. When I was down in Mexico, it was so wild because I seen automakers, cars from every automaker, and I just realized, I said, wait a minute, they don't have a domestic automaker. Canada doesn't either. They have never developed their own industry and infrastructure around some of these companies that they're then dependent on the United States of America in order to run up a bag. So now when we then expand, right, and we expand our auto industry and we say, okay, well, we're going to build a plant over in Canada and we're going to build some plants over in Mexico because we want to make cheaper cars. But then Unifor, which is the equivalent of the UAW, starts renegotiating based off of what we do over here in the UAW. You realize, wait a minute, these are domestic automakers. We don't really have to do this, but they need these industries. Why? Because they have whole plants and infrastructure based off of American companies setting up shop over in Canada. And so then it creates an entire industry around it, and the whole cities are surviving based off of what we do and what we build over there. But what would happen if we took up the real capacity that we had here in the United States of America and we manufactured everything here? And so what Mark Carney and a lot of the leaders are trying to do is they're trying to protect certain industries by flying over here, trying to appease Trump, still trying to sound like they're standing tall for their constituents because they still got to meet the demands of the voters. So they have to play this dog and pony show. No, Canada is never going to be for sale when we have all of the leverage and we have all of the power. It's just the truth. It's just the honest to God truth. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me read some of these super chats, and then we're going to go on from there. Jesse V says, 80 reaction to ads got me laughing my face off. I don't like the ads. But Hear Me Out, though, says you can add 5 accounts to 1 premium account. Yeah, but why do I need to do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm cool with the one I got. Got me rolling on the floor laughing when them damn ads pop up. They say that I'm not funny, though. Spacey says, call in show on after hours is Friday. I don't know. I'm going to have to check with my friends and family. Let me see. Let me talk to Molly, Carrie, Quentin, Slimmy, Mika. Y'all. To say, because these are my partners. Calls on Friday. Thoughts? Question mark. So it's up to them. Just a brown girl in America said, I think it's crazy how people have these thoughts about Anton, but tune in every day and pay to hate. Well, it all pays the same way, so we don't want them to not pay to hate. We want more hate. Mark need to give up them resources. Give it up. Give it up. I'm going to see what my friends say inside of the chat, and I'm going to see what they have to say. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. How do you feel about people that burn the American flag? Disrespectful. Disrespectful. How many subjects did we cover right now? We covered falsely accused, Trump meeting, Mark Carney, Pam Bondi, and we also covered oh, wait a minute. We also covered Smokey Robinson. So wait a minute. The dude from Walmart falsely accused, Smokey Robinson, Trump meeting with Mark Carney, Mark Carney's reaction. That's 4, right? Is that 4? It was another subject that y'all said that y'all wanted me to cover. What was that other subject that y'all said that y'all wanted me to cover? I'm going to go over to Pam Bondi right now, though. Pam Bondi says she got the largest Fenty bus ever. I'm going to read some of these cash apps in a minute also. Pam Bondi says we got it. We got the largest Fenty bus ever. Oh, I know what else I want to talk about. All right, I got that. But Pam Bondi, let's go over to Pam Bondi really quickly. Give me a second. Let me see if I can find it. Here we go. Oh, wait. Hold on. Let me get off of that because I want to make sure that we don't get no ads. Can't be having no ads.
Department.
We don't want no ads. All right, y'all. Pam Bondi, let's get into it. Make sure I hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications.
The Sinaloa cartel. Let's listen in.
To date, this multi-agency operation led by DEA with our local, state, tribal, and federal partners targeted one of the largest and most dangerous drug trafficking and foreign terrorist organizations in our country. The DEA seized 11.5 kilos of fentanyl, including an astounding approximately 3 million fentanyl pills, the largest seizure in our nation's history. These are the pills in the bags right there. The main bottom right, the head of this organization, Sinaloa organization, here in the country illegally, 6 of these guys and women here in the country illegally. His name is Alberto Salazar Amaya. He is the leader, and he was living in Salem, Oregon. With him, they got millions of dollars, cash, cars, but the drugs were in Albuquerque, Phoenix, and Utah. That's how insulated these drug dealer cartel leaders make themselves. This was an incredible operation, and that's why I wanted all of you here behind me. It took months and months of work, investigation, leading up to smaller buys, smaller cases to get this massive amount of drugs and guns off our streets. $5 million approximately in cash, 35 kilos of methamphetamine, 35 kilos of meth, 7.5 kilos of cocaine, 4.5 kilos of heroin, 49 rifles and pistols, all shown in the pictures. And then, of course, the 3 million pills. These pills were stamped as oxycodone. Let that sink in. 3 million pills going on our streets. 3 million pills, the streets of our country, laced with fentanyl, labeled as oxycodone.
I don't, that's crazy. That is absolutely insane. If you were ever a dope fiend, or even if you was a person that was thinking about trying something, right? Because listen, I know that everybody gonna try to act like, no, man, I ain't never did nothing before. I ain't never tried nothing. If you are ever curious, right? Because a lot of the ways that these things get introduced to people is social, right? You get social drugs, you go to a party, you interact with a chick, or you interact with a guy, and he say, hey, take this. This will take the edge off. You know what I'm saying? Or it's gonna make you relax a little bit more. Oh man, listen, we all having a good time. Everybody doing it. And people socially get, finessed into doing stuff. You should be scared out of your mind at this point. And the reason that you should be scared out of your mind is because these ain't even normal drugs before. I remember when we was coming up and it was on some say no to drugs type stuff, or you can look at this guy over here and he Bubs, shout out to Bubbles. And you can look at Bubs or whatever, and you can see the crackhead, and the crackheads was hanging around. They would come by, they would sweep up on the street. They would come and hoop with you. I seen crackheads come and hoop, and they had some decent skills. And my dog Bernard, he used to always hoop, and he's like, "Yeah, man, I'm just like Earl the Pearl. I'm Earl the Pearl. You don't know nothing about Earl the Pearl." And they was doing a step over. It wasn't like the step back like James Harden. It was doing a step over, and their jumper was so slow, and he would shoot his jumper. The crackheads was still existing. Now, the base heads, they different. They're different now. They different now. They zombies. They can't think. They sleeping on an angle, standing up all at the same time. Seriously, bro. They're different. They a different type of basehead now. They not the ones that'll just steal out of your purse. They out here looking like zombies. I had a chick come up to me at the gas station the other day. Her teeth was almost black. White woman. I said, oh, she looked just like a Dave Chappelle skit. Hold on there, Johnny. See, I ain't even asked you for nothing yesterday. I said, open your eyes, Sue. We call her Sue. Call her Sue. They not even messing with her on the streets no more because it's Sukihana Sue. Call her Sukihana Sue because she'll do some crazy things with some change. She really get desperate. Can't say thank you no more. I said, give me a second, Sue. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna get something to drink out of the gas station. I'm gonna get some gas, and I got you. Cause that's exactly what she did, bro. Seriously, she said, cause I ain't eating that. So give me a Sue. Wake up, Sue. I said, get up, just lean up against the wall for a second. Go in, get what I need. You know what I'm saying? I keep a bunch of fives. That's the honest to God truth. I keep a whole lot of fives on me because I got to make sure I take care of the streets. There you go, Sue. Sue don't even say thank you no more. She just start walking off. Oh, that $5 woke you up. So you just gonna walk off on me, Sue? All right, next time. This is the honest to God truth. They different now. The base heads is different. Whatever this Fenty, it's a killer. It's a killer. China shipping that junk over here. It's coming in from all of these places, and they killing people. It's taking lives. It's taking people out. This Fenty is different. Nah, Kirsten, I give people money. I ain't giving nobody no food. You got time to be going to no restaurant. Hey, what you want to order? I don't do that. I give them what they need. Listen, here, man. Take it. Go do. Hey, man, don't waste my money on no drugs, bro. Dog, don't go buy nothing. I know they're gonna go buy what they need. I can't control that. I got to give them what they need. Sometimes they use it for the right thing. Sometimes they use it for the wrong thing. So I just give them whatever it is that they want. They ask me for it, I give it to them. And the logic behind it is that when bad things happen to people, when they get their car broken into or something like that, a lot of times they'll say stuff like, oh man, it wasn't even worth what they sold. They could have just asked me for it. Well, when they asked you for it, you didn't give it to them. So give them what they want.
And they were in all different strengths of fentanyl within them. This operation was made possible by over 55,000 hours of law enforcement investigation. And this is a really dangerous job that these DEA agents face every day, but they are getting very dangerous drugs off of our streets each day. They are flooding our cities with a weapon of mass destruction.
Facts.
Fentanyl. And when we catch you,
it is, Chuck.
All of these individuals, if convicted, we will put you behind bars. There will be no negotiating, and we will lock you up for as long as humanly possible.
And they sending you to El Salvador now. They're not messing around. They sending people to El Salvador. They're not messing around, bro.
We will not negotiate with those who are killing our family members, including brothers, sisters, daughters, sons, parents, friends. Everyone in this room, I guarantee you, knows someone who has been afflicted with drug addiction, and many who have known someone who has lost a loved one because of this trash on our streets. The precursors are made in China. It was sent to Mexico and came right in our country.
Yep.
And again, 6 of these individuals were here illegally. That won't shock you. And we're running a massive, massive drug operation. This kind of success doesn't happen without extraordinary leadership. And I want to personally thank my friend, DEA Principal Deputy Administrator Rob Murphy, DEA El Paso Division Chief, Agent in Charge, Omar Ariello. I'm killing your name, Omar. Omar, okay. And U.S. Attorney, where's Ryan? Ryan Ellison.
Yo, shout out to Pam Bondi. She's actually doing work. Does anybody remember any of these major announcements that was happening during the Biden administration? No? I don't remember any announcements that was really made that was relevant to keeping this stuff off the streets and actually getting these drug dealers arrested and locked up. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. It was one more. I got some other stuff that I may want to go into. Will the Win says we're going to have to replace female assistants with AI pretty soon. AI don't work like the female assistants. Female assistants, they look different. They feel different. They look different. Listen, AI, let me tell you about AI. AI is dope. I think that AI is a great assistant. I use it. I've been studying. I've been deep diving into AI a lot. But let me also say this, man. AI ain't got clavicles, bro. AI ain't got clavicles. Shout out to my girl, Mika. Did y'all see that that video on Instagram with Mika where she was singing Nicki Minaj and she was dancing and stuff like that? Did y'all see that? AI can't do that. You think that AI could do that? AI can't do what Mika was dancing and singing and she was having a good time. It ain't the same. It's not the same. I'm being honest with you. It's not the same. AI ain't got clavicles. AI it ain't the same, bro. Y'all ain't see that? Are y'all subscribed to Red Cup? Red Cup is actually pretty dope, y'all. It's really, really dope. Go and check it out. Y'all be seeing ladies that be talking on Thursday nights and stuff like that? AI don't got no smell to it. They be smelling good. I'm not telling y'all. Y'all got to go and check her out. If y'all want to go and see what she's talking about, she all good looking and nice looking and smelling good. The clavicles and built like a mother Coke bottle and all of that is different. I'm not saying that. I'm not showing it. Go see it for yourself. Anyways, what else was I going to talk about? Because I was thinking about talking about student loans. And then I also seen a girl from Meeting with China, student loans. It was a girl from, where was she from? Girl was from that. She was like a grad student that got killed in California. Trinity Life said today's show is different. We just enjoying life. I got a flight to catch, and I need to prepare for this. Patreon live stream. Trans people banned from the military. All right, we'll deal with that one. Let's talk about that one. NBC, CBS, 21 hours ago. Let's go with this one. Let's go with this one. All right, we're going to roll with this one. Let's talk about it. Trans people banned from the military. I did get that notification yesterday. Let's deep dive into it, y'all.
We have breaking news. The Supreme Court has lifted a temporary nationwide injunction that had blocked the Trump administration from banning transgender people from serving in the military. The nation's highest court ruled along party lines 6-3 to reinstate the ban while the litigation continues in lower court. This was one of the first actions taken by the president following the start of his second term. A district court judge blocked the policy, calling it, quote, de facto blanket prohibition on transgender service. The court's 3 liberal judges said they would have kept the policy on hold. CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson joins us now. She's a professor at Loyola Law School in Los Angeles. Jessica, break down this decision for us. What more do we know?
I think you were very clear in the sense of this is about the Supreme Court saying that injunction can be lifted, meaning the ban can be implemented for now. This is not the Supreme Court having heard robust oral arguments, having received briefing. The Supreme Court is not ruling on, in brief, the merits. The Supreme Court is just ruling on whether or not the ban on the ban, meaning the injunction, could stay in place while this case plays out. And the court here, 6-3, apparently along ideological lines, is saying that that ban can be implemented while the case continues to play out. We should also note that there's another case in DC where a district court judge implemented a preliminary injunction. The appellate court in that case, the DC Circuit Court of Appeals, is hearing arguments about whether or not that should become a permanent injunction. So I just want people to know this isn't the final word on this particular executive order.
And so you mentioned as this plays out in the lower court, what does that look like?
So it looks like hearing arguments on the substance of whether or not it, for instance, violates the Constitution to say that transgender people cannot openly serve in the military. Those who are critical of this executive action have said that that amounts to discrimination that violates the 14th Amendment Equal Protection Clause. Others, like the Trump administration, have argued that transgender members of the military create threats in the military, that they could undermine the ability of the military to do its job, and that judges owe the executive branch deference when it comes to military decisions.
All right, so let me do it. Let me get a general idea. How many of y'all inside of the chat or that's watching this right now, how many of y'all actually agree with the idea that we should ban people from openly serving as trans inside of the military? Let me say this again. How many of y'all agree that we should ban people from openly serving as trans inside of the military? Jesse agrees. Callie Rain agrees. Shaffer Morris agree. You agree. I see everybody saying agree. Relentless says absolutely, get them out. Crown says you agree. K. Cooper agree. Philip says ban. Slickball says no. Keep the trans mess away. They want to serve. What did you say? I want to serve something. All trans people versus all of the YNs in Chicago. They made humans. They made up humans to be unstoppable. I agree. Yeah, it's a distraction. 100%. Makes us look bad and ban it. Not a class of choice. They can meet the requirements. You don't agree as long as they can meet the requirements. What are the requirements? What are the requirements? Dude looks like a lady. Put them on the front lines. Let them have their own units. Okay, well, let me add in another wrinkle. How do you guys feel about the military, aka taxpayers, paying for the transitions of people that choose to be trans? I don't agree either. I don't think that we should have to pay. Listen, I hate all of this stuff. I hate the fact that we even having a debate about which part of prison, if somebody commits a crime, should they go to. If a person is a man but is transitioning, then they get to go over to the women's side possibly. I don't agree with none of that stuff. I think that all of that stuff need to go away. 100%. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm not even really a fan of women serving in certain parts of the army, military, government branches, and all of that. I'm not a fan of it. I'm being absolutely honest. And I could be wrong, and I'm just giving you my thoughts, my clear thoughts when it comes to these subjects. I'm not even a fan of women serving in the same capacity as men. I'm not. So if I'm not even a fan of women serving in the same capacity as men because, I believe that men and women are different, and I don't think that everybody should be on the same playing field, then why would I be okay if somebody is playing dress up inside of the military? Mike Zeno says, but Anton, they want equality. Well, here's the thing about women that say that they want equality. The problem isn't even that women saying that they want equality, because women say a bunch of stuff that they don't know that they want. I was just talking to somebody earlier today that was a woman, and I said, you don't know what you want. You just talking. You don't know. You just listen. That's cool. Yeah, that's nice. We'll talk about it later. The problem isn't that women say that they wanted it. The problem is that we gave in and gave them what they thought that they wanted. Like, why are we listening to them and saying, okay, you know what? It's okay. We're going to let you do this. We're going to let you do that. We're going to let you determine our fate. We're going to let you pick our president. We're going to let you do any of that. Call me misogynistic. Call me all of these things. But I just think that women, largely, at large for the most part, should not be in the same spaces as men. They should not have to suffer the same way that we suffer. But we let them jump in. We let them do all of this other dumb stuff. And now what are you doing? Now what do we got going on? It's not the same. It's not the same. I think that the problem is that we let them have a say-so. And even though we communicate with them, we said, okay, you know what? You can have it. You can have it. You can come in. You can do anything. You can do anything. You can do just like a man. I remember when that dumb movie came out, G.I. Jane. What was it? With Demi Moore? G.I. Jane. All that was an advertisement. All they was they was trying to convince people to give women the same benefits as men and to have them over there crashing out looking stupid. Changing the requirements of whether or not they would meet expectations to be in the same units or qualify in the same way as men. Get the hell out of here, bro. I remember that G.I. Jane movie and get out of here, man. Get out of here. What are you doing? What are you talking about? Go sit down. Go sit down. What are you doing? It aggravates me to see women doing like certain housework. I be like, man, I almost crashed out the other day. I gotta tell on her. I come home the other day. Well, this was probably about 2 months ago. I come home the other day. I go up the stairs and I see two holes, symmetrical, slightly to the left, two holes in my wall going up the steps. And I look at it and I already knew who the culprit was. I said, Leslie. I just pointed to it. Leslie said, that's mama. That's mama. So before I had the discussion, I go down into the basement. I look at the ladder. Interesting. I look at the ladder. I can see drywall chips on the end of the ladder. Looked like she tried to carry a ladder up the steps and hit my wall and made two symmetrical holes in my wall. Interesting. So I go upstairs, go back upstairs, go into the bedroom. Hey, what's going on with these holes in my wall? Oh, I was going to try to get that taken care of before you got here. How was you going to try to get it taken care of? Then she going to do like this. Now we got to get the holes in the wall patched. They patched. It looks like nothing was ever there. It's repainted and all of that stuff. But the point is what are you doing stuff that you're not supposed to do? What are you doing? What was so important that you had to take this ladder up here in order to, it wasn't even the right size. I know it wasn't the right size. Leave stuff alone. Leave stuff alone. You know what I'm saying? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Aggravate me. Anton, you think I need to go and get, what are you doing? And you broke your nail looking stupid now. Now you nailless. Now you got two nails missing. And what is that going to cost me? It's the same thing, man. It's just something, honestly, it's just some stuff that just women shouldn't be a part of. There's some things that we got to keep sacred. You can't keep doing stuff. You can't keep doing stuff. Stay out of men's business. Stay out of our conversations. Some stuff you don't need to be a part of. And I don't want to be a part of what you got going on either. I don't care. I'm not interested. I don't want to know. It doesn't matter to me whatsoever.
So there are more than 1.2 million active duty members of the military, according to the Defense Department. A defense official said as of December 9th, there were about 4,200 troops diagnosed with gender dysphoria. The president, Jessica, banned transgender people from serving in the military during his first term. The Supreme Court allowed that to take effect in 2019. The Biden administration reversed that policy. Should we take anything from that precedent from the High Court, knowing this is still being litigated?
So yes and no, in the sense that my understanding is that this ban is broader and more extensive than the ban during the first Trump administration. So it certainly gives us some indication about the court's thinking. Certainly the fact that the court allowed the ban to go into effect by lifting this nationwide injunction gives us some indication of the court's thinking, but it's a very different question as to whether or not an injunction can be lifted versus ruling on the merits. So do we have tea leaves? We do. Do we have a final answer? We don't.
And so you and I have been talking at great length about the difference between the role of Congress and executive action here. How does that issue play into something like this as significant as a ban on who can serve in our military?
That's a great question. And you and I have talked, I think, just a few hours ago about when the president needs to work with Congress, when the president can act alone. And I would say when it comes to military affairs, obviously the president is the commander in chief. And when it comes to who can serve in the military, I would offer that the executive branch does get broader latitude. This is not a situation, and I think your question is a good one, about this is not a situation where the Constitution says you must work with Congress because we're talking about appropriations. Having said that, this is absolutely a situation where you could see legislation, and legislation typically stands on firmer grounds than an executive action.
So basically, we need to just, I'm thankful. I think it's the right thing to do. Thank you to Trump administration for bringing masculinity and femininity back. Thank you, Trump, for bringing masculinity and femininity back. Just talking to somebody the other day, I was talking about the nature of how things was set up and how women and men used to operate. It was totally different. It was nothing like what you see today. Everybody, they trying to make men women and they trying to make women men. Have y'all ever seen a woman? Have y'all ever seen a woman that work her ass off? She looks so frazzled. A woman that work a full-time job, her edges be missing. And I ain't talking about like just work a full-time job that she likes. I'm talking about that's trying to make it happen. I see a lot of corporate women and they be told to fuck up. You know what they supposed to look like, but they can't withstand it the same as men. And I'm sorry, ladies, I'm gonna just be honest with y'all. For the overwhelming majority of y'all, the reason why y'all so fat, the reason why y'all so toe up, the reason why y'all skin is bad, the reason why you ain't got no edges, the reason why you have to wear a ton of makeup to put in to cover for all of the pots that you got in front of your face, the reason why y'all got so many surgeries is because y'all not women no more and y'all kept trying to do it the same way as men. You can't do what we do. You don't age the same. You be fucked up. You be messed up. I can tell a difference between a woman that is kept and a woman that is struggling. The struggle women, they don't hit the same. I can always tell the women that really operate in their femininity, that talk like, you know what, honey, I love you. You know what, honey, I love you. Not a big deal. No, you want to argue. Okay, well then pay the rent yourself. Take your funky ass over there and go and get the rent yourself. Next thing you know, she on TikTok. Every day, every month, my rent goes up. Do you know that there's women that don't even know how much the mortgage is or how much the rent is? They have no clue. They have no clue what the electric bill is, what the gas bill is. They never seen a property tax statement in their life. They don't know how to log in to pay it. They don't know nothing. Don't you know it's women that don't know how much the rent or the mortgage is? Crazy, ain't it? It's insane to think. Nope, but I keep seeing women talk about how much they got to pay, how much they struggling, what it costs to get this done or whatever. I look at my daughter's stuff that she just be swiping. Swipe, 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 swipe. She called me with her first world problems all the time. No, you want to be us. You ran yourself into a brick wall and realized that you got to compete against us now. You went out there and you got overly educated, and now you're facing $120,000 in student loans, and you got a social worker degree, and you can't even afford to pay your student loans back. Now you got to go to work. You got to re-enroll for 6 credits every semester for the rest of your life, just so your credit not messed up. You got to be a lifetime student. You got to pay to go to school so that you don't have to pay your student loans, which still is going to accumulate interest. And then you can't get married. You know why you can't get married? Because as soon as the man see that student loan balance, if he marry you, that becomes his student loan balance. He now has to take responsibility for that. You've been making mistakes your whole life. Sit your dumb ass down for 5 seconds so that you can actually get something that's going to be beneficial to you, that God has ordained is going to be good for you. Your role was never supposed to be the role of a man. And now you want to join the military. You want to put on strap-ons and you can't feel nothing. You want to get overly educated, but you can't use your degree for nothing. You want to go over here and have conversations. Now you got to negotiate for 50-50. Now you got to sit here and say, how come ain't no real men being chivalrous no more? Because we don't want to date men. Because we don't want to date a woman that put on pants just like us. We're not interested in you. We don't want you. We good. We straight. We straight. Your hands feel like my hands. Your hair look like my hair. We good. We good. Now you out of shape. You tired. You can't get rid of that fupa. Now they got Ozempic. Eating disorders, stress eating. All of that. All you got to say is, you know what? Yes, daddy. Yes, daddy will fix all problems for you. That's all you got to say. You ain't got to be out here struggling. You ain't got to be out here trying to compete. Yes, daddy will fix all of your problems. Your hair will come back. You'll be able to do lunch dates. Yes, daddy. Fix everything. I'm going to fix you, though. I'm going on tour. I'm going on tour. I'm going city to city. When I meet with y'all in the city, I'm going to ask them, what you doing? Oh, I was reaching for the bill. I'm going to just look at her. I ain't going to say nothing. Oh, interesting. So what you count? That's what I say to, so you count my pockets? Oh, I thought I would take care of it. Oh, so you count my pockets now. Oh, you me? I get an instant attitude. You know what? I'm about to get out of here. I ain't got time for this nonsense. I'm not about to sit here and be talking to you. I'm not arguing with you. I'm not talking to you. I'm walking away. The minute that you think that you me, I'm walking away. Because I'm not interested in talking to no grown men. I don't want that. I'm straight. See that? Coming in here, coming to Detroit and getting everything that you want. Leaving with more than you came with. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Mr. Febreze says the rapper Skrilla from Philly made a music video on Kensington Ave with the fiends he sell dope. Jesus, Lord have mercy. Coach He says her name is Bondi, Pam Bondi. Coach He says we want Aunt Carrie and Molly on Red Cup. We Aunt Carrie and Molly on Red Cup. MJ Merriweather says, I am currently in the military and having a man and female only spaces makes others uncomfortable. See? And they've been milking the system, getting special privilege that are not given to everyone. When did Viola Davis become Bruce Lee? And the movies and the music, they got y'all thinking that y'all doing the same thing. It ain't cool. It ain't cool. I want you. This ain't after hours. I didn't went a little too far. Anyways, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. What do we got going on? Stock Club, Block Club today at 5. Does that time serve y'all? Does that time work for y'all? 5 p.m. Eastern. Does 5 p.m. Eastern work for y'all? Let me get my Tiege Hanley nail clipper kit before I go out of town. If that doesn't work for y'all, then y'all give me another time or another day or something. 5 p.m. Eastern. Does that work for y'all? Victory says yes. Treese, yes. Yes, yes. Does that work for y'all? Because I want to get as many people to tune into that as possible. Too early. Not really, but we'll make it work. So I think that a lot of people are still going to be at work or getting on work. Some people are saying too early. High Tolerance is saying reschedule. If I reschedule, then I would have to do it tomorrow. But I could do it tomorrow at about 7 p.m. Eastern or 8 p.m. Eastern. 8 p.m. We could do it to 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. If y'all want to do it like that. That way more people can actually tune in. Y'all want to do it 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow? That maybe everybody. I can't do 7 p.m. today because I got to catch a flight. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. is better. That way more people have had time to get settled. Tomorrow's better. Yeah, so I can be off of work and get full attention. All right, so we'll do it like this. I'll post it in the Patreon today for tomorrow. That way y'all have the link and y'all can actually put it in your calendar. And then I'll be settled because I'll be chilling and then we can get it popping. 8 p.m. tomorrow. All right, that's cool. We can do it tomorrow. I always like to get some insight so I can make some adjustments. And I'll be settled. I'll be in my hotel room. I'm going to be chilling. Ain't nothing going to be popping on a Thursday anyway. So, all right, cool. Tomorrow, 8 p.m., we're going to get it popping. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all love each other. Show love, and we're going to get it popping. I love y'all. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Peace.